sometimes those things might come to you a little later in life, respect for others and maybe the importance of teamwork. And I'm not saying later in your life, but generally speaking for a lot of people, it's come to you very early in your life, if you think about it. And it might be circumstantial to a certain extent, but on the other side too, you've embraced a team sport. And you can't win a rugby match with one person. You've got 15 people that you're reliant on. But the respect for others too is something that has really stood out for me with you. So along with what Vincent's just said now about the importance of those two things as part of your life, you very much see it the same?
Yeah, I definitely do. That I learned from the township. Yeah, they teach you very quickly, like Uti, Sisi, Mama, Tata, and that's how you never call an adult by name. So I learned that there already. And then when I came to Grey as well, our rector, Mr. Crawford, made sure that we're all disciplined. I still call my teachers today sir and ma'am. It's just in you that I can't help it. Even when I meet people who are older than me, I say sir and ma'am. It's just one of those things that I get shocked in this day and age when kids they call me by my name. I don't know why, for some reason. They'll say, see my friend, say sir, and see ya, bro. That's how they call me, Well, I don't qualify as a sir anymore, Yeah, I think it's important, like, to have those things because, like you say, teamwork, like, for me, that the way I was raised in the township was exactly teamwork. Ubuntu, I am because we are. That's what I grew up in, that kind of spirit, and that's honestly, I can't claim that and say it's something that I've always had. I honestly learned it from the time to see how we help each other, how we knew we're a community, a proper community where I grew up. And we struggled, but you didn't know that you struggled because most people were in the same boat as you and you always feel like you help each other. And I think that's what made me also want to give back because my first contract out of school, I was already helping my club, African Bomber, sometimes with transport money, and we got jerseys. I always tried to find a way because of what was engraved in me from school. And I think what he did for the opportunity I got also helped with that. And then when I eventually met him and understand the person that he is, made sense. That thing is very contagious when you help others.
Yeah. Well, let's go back as well, Sia, to your debut for the Springboks. It was down in Mobella, in Nelspruit. Against Scotland. You weren't in the starting 15, you were on the bench then. And I was chatting to Jean-Ray Kruger the other day, who played in that game with you at lock forward. But you came on as a replacement in that game, and you won the Man of the Match award at the same time. Now that's pretty rare. When you bring on a replacement, he has such an impact that he actually wins the Man of the Match award. And you won the Man of the Match, and you might have forgotten about it. You shouldn't have.
I have never forgotten. I know.
Very special occasion. Though.
Yeah.
So what was your thinking at the time? You sort of like got to a pedestal now. You've got sort of the highest you could maybe go, although you weren't captain at the time. Did you see a long career in front of you? How did you visualize your rugby life when you came off that field that day and won that Man of the Match award?
I wasn't thinking about that. So let me go and enjoy tonight. I actually played with JJ. JJ was playing that time, and Jan Selfontein, I think, also played during that time. No, not Jan, JJ. Jan was too young. I wasn't. I mean, before I went on, I was laying on because I was told, okay, you're getting your cap. You might not come on. You might come on in 5 minutes. We don't know. That's what I was okay, cool. I sat on the bench and it was 5 minutes. I was spitting water and catching it with my mouth in the bench, like talking rubbish. And then they said I must get up. I said, no, man, you'll get up. Like, that's what always, they said, no, red call, you have to get up. Then I'm like, okay, it's happening. And then they like warm up. I was like, nope, I'm warm enough. I don't need to, just put me on the field. And I went on and it was so nice to walk like and see familiar faces at the time. People I knew, and then Eben, who I started with, and Brian, I was playing with the Stormers, a lot of my Stormers teammates. It made me feel calm. And then the coach, I remember, because I didn't know Afrikaans, but you had to know Afrikaans then, because the line-out calls were in Afrikaans. So when they spoke and made the call, 58. I said in English, then I must transfer in Xhosa again. By the time I get it, the ball is going over the top. So the coach grabbed me, Johan van Gaan. He said, don't worry about any mistakes, just bring Sia today. Then I did that. I just tried to find the ball, and I enjoyed it. It was fun, and we were struggling in the game. We almost lost the game against Scotland. We pulled through and we won the game, and I didn't. And then afterwards, like I was on the bench again. So, but I always knew like I'm gonna make it. I knew here. I was at. I was doing accounting because when I got here and I saw the school, I thought, oh, I'm gonna be a doctor, and I did. I took all the subjects: science, accounting, bio, maths. Yeah, I didn't last long. At science, I was looking up. First term, we're writing a test, and then the teacher's like, your ancestors are not gonna send you the answers. And they packed my bags for me and said, you gotta go find another subject. So I left. And then maths lit, we had a special class. There were 8 of us. Do you know, if you fail in a classroom with 8 people, you have a problem. And the teacher is not the problem, you are the problem. So I sat there, the third test, I got 12%. I sat there like this. And I looked at the teacher, it was Mrs. Glover at the time. She was broken. She just sat there, she just hurt and thinking, well, how is she getting this wrong? I looked at her, I said, ma'am, I'm so sorry for doing this to you, but I'm gonna leave now. She was like, oh, where you go? You don't have to. I said, no, you don't mean that. I'm leaving, I'm going to Maths Lit. The whole first team was there. They celebrated when I walked in. This is where I'm supposed to be. I went in there and yeah, it was special, you know. And then accounting was the last subject that was left, and I was sitting in class in matric or grade 11. I sat in class and I also got 12% was the thing for me. You know, I'm very consistent in what I do. And Mr. Rudolph sir was the teacher, and I was sitting and I looked at my mom, and I knew you can only fail one subject. If you fail 2, I think you fail completely. Yeah. So I had to make a decision here, and I'm sitting in class, the teacher is teaching, and I'm always dramatic. I think about it. And I stood up, I said, sorry sir, I'm sorry to interrupt the class, but I think we all know that for me, this is it, I'm gonna fail this subject. Can I ask a favor that I can come here and do any other work so that I make sure I don't fail any other subjects? Or I come here, I'll sleep and I'll do other homework, that's it, I won't interrupt your class. But I just want to make sure that I pass, but I know I'm going to become a rugby player one day. That's going to be my thing. My teammates, my classmates were all like laughing, and then the teacher chewed me, he's like, that's arrogant. You know how many people think that's going to happen? And then I became a Springbok. He gave me a call. He's like, you arrogant bastard. But well done. Yeah, but yeah, I was like Uncle V. Education, I just wanted to pass so I can get into university, but the sport was the most important for me, which I regret today. I do regret, because I still wouldn't have studied. No. I looked at my friends when I was playing professional and they were studying.
Vincent, did you actually encourage Sia as well from an academic perspective in the time that you got to know him? Or you did, but he didn't listen to you?
No, I felt that the case was
exemption as well.
I felt the case was hopeless. But I did find that he was incredibly, apart from the obvious rugby talent, but his ability to inspire people, and with the Kolisi Foundation, so rather than go the academic route, it was the impact he has just in thinking about how to help people who need help and how to do it on scale and how to use the incredible platform he's got. And so, beyond the great rugby career, there's a hugely important and high impact current activity and future activity around the foundation, and really just helping people who need help, because that's who he is.
Yeah,
And
I think for him as well, like what we always talk about, like what we both agree on is like in whatever you do, like in work, rugby, sport, business, whatever you do, you have to have like purpose. And I think for me, my biggest purpose, what we spoke about together, is that my community is my purpose, you know, is how do I use my platform, what I have, just like he's doing, he uses his business, what he's good at, to give back to community. And my drive is ultimately is to leave my community in a better place than I found it. And that gets me up when I don't want to get up in the morning, because me achieving tests or winning trophies, it's easy to give up on yourself when you put someone else as like use somebody that you've never met before. Say, if I don't go to training tomorrow, those kids are not gonna get those meals. If I don't play well, those kids are not gonna get them. And that gives you a bigger drive than just yourself. And that's helped me a lot in my rugby career as well. Because, you know, I think we always tend to have the small dreams and small goals. I want to buy a house for, it's not a small thing. I want to buy a house for my mom. I want to get that. Then you get that, then what? And then you kind of go backwards. Your dream, your purpose, your drive should be far, it shouldn't be achievable. All the stuff that I want to achieve in my community, I'll never be able to, but I'll leave it to the next generation. But I'll do as much as I can, you know, and that's what we want to do, because we know there's no ways we can achieve all the stuff that we want to achieve, but that's what keeps us waking up and keep going. And if I stop playing rugby, I can't stop. I need to find something else that I can do to help the foundation to get where it needs to be. And I think that's where I encourage young sportsmen, find your purpose before knowing what you want to do. Just, this is your purpose, then you can go for it. And then everything that you do around your life is driving towards your purpose. And I think that normally helps when you have that and is in your mind and you know what's driving you each day.
There's no way to